Navi. We're in Sefer Shemuel Bet, end of chapter 17 over here. We just had Achitophel died. He got very jealous and committed suicide when he saw that it wasn't working out for him. They didn't listen to his advice. David arrives at Mahanaim, right? And really, it's interesting that Chazal tell us over here that when Achitophel killed himself, the Yerushalmi says, in order for to give someone something else, you have to give them kinyan. You have to make kinyan. The only exception where you don't have to make kinyan is somebody in the deathbed, shchim mera, someone who's about to die. It says that his words, it's as if it was written already. He doesn't need kinyan, and right away it goes to the people the recipient. So where do we learn that from? So the pasuk says, our pasuk, the Gemara brings as a proof. Why? Because it says, Achitophel v'itzav el beito, he commanded his family, v'yachanek, and right away he died, he strangled himself. So he instructed his family, and right away he died. So it was enough for him just to say it. It doesn't say in the pasuk that he did kinyan. All he did was say it, and then he died. So we see someone who was about to die. It's enough that he says it.
What was the reason he killed himself?
Because he saw that he wanted also to take over David HaMelech's kingdom, and he saw that the people weren't listening to him. So he got such a tsar that he saw that it's not going to work out for him. He's going to die anyways. Because if he already declared to go against David, and then the people are not following him, so he was doomed.
Did he go to straight to Gehenna for this?
Yeah, it's very forbidden in the Torah to commit suicide.
Mentally?
Yeah, he was also. No, if a person is mentally there and he decides logically, I have to commit suicide, that's where a person gets a big punishment. But if a person was depressed and on pills and not mentally there, so then he's not held accountable. It's not as severe as a person who does it willingly. Achitophel had instructions for his children. He told them, do not fight amongst yourselves. Do not rebel against David. And he says, if the festival of Shavuot falls on a day where the sky is clear, you should plant wheat crops that year. Okay, he gave him good advice. Then the Gemara Makot says that the Sotah, right? What was the halacha by Sotah? A married woman secluded herself with a man, and she was warned by her husband not to do so. So she's suspected of adultery. She has to go take the big dash. She has to drink the Sotah, the bitter water, right? And they take dirt from the floor of the Bet HaMikdash. There's one tile you can remove, and you can take dirt from there. And then you erase Hashem's name, Parshat Sotah. So the Pasuk says that he killed himself, but really, what brought about his strangulation occurred much earlier, right? We said that Achitophel made a mistake, right? Because he said the Kal V'chomer, because David HaMelech was digging for a foundation of Bet HaMikdash, and he took the pottery, and all the Tehom was coming out, right? All the water was coming out from the Tehom. So David HaMelech didn't know if he's allowed to put Shem Hashem to close it. So Achitophel said, Kal V'chomer, if Hashem erases his name for Sotah, for sure you can put Hashem's name on the pottery to close the Tehom, to close the waters. And David, he said, he cursed anybody who knows the halakha and doesn't tell me, I curse them, they should die with strangulation. So even though Achitophel fulfilled the condition, the Gemara says the curse of tzaddik, it comes true even if you fulfill the condition. So therefore David really cursed Achitophel with this, that he said the curse, so he died strangulation because of David's curse. The pasuk says that David came to Machanaim, and Avshalom crossed the Jordan, and he and all men of Israel with him. Avshalom had a general. What was the name of Avshalom's general? Amasa. Amasa was over the army in place of Yoav. So Yoav used to be the general for David. Now it's Amasa. Amasa was the son of Itra, a Israeli, who consorted with Avigail Daram Nachash, sister Yoav's mother Tzeruya. So you have Israel and Avshalom in the land of Gilad, and you have David and his people in Mahanaim. So what happened? David came to Mahanaim. Shovi, son of Nachash from Rabbah, and Machir, son of Amiel, and Barzilai of Gilad, they all came, and they gave David a lot of stuff. Bedding, bowls, pottery, wheat, flour, kernels, beans, lentils, honey, butter, sheep, milk, cheese. All these things in order to feed him. And they wanted to show loyalty to David. So David counted the people with him, and he sent the people away, He said, a third under Yoav, a third under Avishai, and a third under Ittai. And David says, I shall go with you as well. But the people said, no, don't go. For if we will have to flee, they will not care about us. If half of us die, they will not care about us. Therefore, it's better you help us from the city. And therefore, the king stayed over there with all these people. So you have a big war coming. Amasa and Absalom on one side. All these people giving provisions to David, and he has his own army. And they're ready to meet in the middle and go to war. The people went to the field, and a battle took place in the forest of Ephraim. The people of Israel were defeated by David's servants. 20,000 Jews died that day when they had machloket, David and Avshalom. And what happened? Avshalom's army lost. He lost. So let's see what happens to Avshalom. Avshalom bumped into David's servants. Avshalom was riding a mule, rochev ala peret. ויבוא הפרט תחת שובך העלה הגדולה, יחזק ראשו בעלה. It says he came under the thick branches of an elm tree. His head became entangled in the tree. And he was suspended between heaven and earth. בין השמיים ובין הארץ. והפרא אשר תחתיו עבר. So he got stuck in the tree. His hair, he had long hair. His hair, he used to get a nazir. He was cut his hair once a year. His hair got stuck in the tree. And the donkey continues going. And therefore he's dangling. Interesting, Pasuk says he was dangling between Shamayim and Aretz. What does that mean? What does it mean he was dangling between Shamayim and Aretz? So the Chazal say he was dangling, he was getting judged in that moment. In that moment, if Geinam or Gan Eden, he was getting judged in that moment. So therefore, that's what it means between Shamayim and Aretz. So what happened? So then the Pasuk says that one man saw and told Yoav. He says, Yoav, look, I see Avshalom hanging from the tree. Yoav said, and if you saw this, why didn't you kill him? Why didn't you strike him down to the ground? I would have given you 10 silver pieces and one belt. So the man said to Yoav, listen, even if you give me 1,000, I would never kill the king's son. Because who am I? What am I going to get in trouble? I don't want to get in trouble. Yoav says, no, I'm not going to ask you anymore. Why you didn't do it? I'm going to do it myself. Yoav took 3 spears and he stuck it into Avshalom's heart. Yet Avshalom was still alive. Avshalom was still breathing. And then 10 men, the bearers of Yoav's armor, circled around. They also struck Avshalom and they caused him to die. It took 10 men to kill Avshalom. And then Yoav blew shofar and everybody stopped fighting. They took Avshalom's body, threw it in the forest in a pit, and they made a large mound of stones on top to show he was a Rasha. Meanwhile, all of Israel fled, each one to their tent. That's it. Rebellion's over. Avshalom dies. And they made a monument. Everybody knows the pasuk that says, "V'ikra lematzevet al shemo, v'ikra la Yad Avshalom ad hayom hazeh." It's called Yad Avshalom. This monument of stones called Yad Avshalom. And Achimat, son of Tzadok, says, "I will run and tell the king the news that Hashem gave justice to his enemies." But Yoav says, "No, you'll not be the news. You can bring the news a different day. For do not bring the news today, for the king's son is dead." He says, you don't think David's going to be happy for him? No, he's going to be sad. His son died. Of course he's going to be sad. Don't tell him today. Yoav tells the Kushi, says, go tell the Kushi, go tell David what he saw. The Kushi, they run fast, right? So he's going to be the messenger. He's going to go.
Until today.
Yeah, until today. The Kushi, the guy runs fast. So therefore they're going to send him as a messenger to go and deliver the news.
Actually, did that, Rabbi?
Yeah, that's the Kushis were known as the messengers, the mailmen.
Whoa.
They ran fast, and the Kushi, and for a long time, I think till this day, the fastest marathon is. But that is Jamaican, but also there's in the long marathons,
Yeah.
he's a Kenyan guy.
All right, the Kenyan. Also, a woman also.
Yeah. They have their body is they're very fit for it. Yeah. So what happens? So then they send the Kushi to go give the news to David. We're gonna see how David reacts to the news. But at the end of the day, David wins the war. Okay, let's read the Mefarshim over here. So why did he get stabbed with 3 spears? Chazal say because Avshalom did 3 sins. He tricked his father, he tricked Bedin, and he tricked the Jewish people. So therefore he tricked 3 groups, so you get 3 spears. And then the Gemara Sotah says that Avshalom, he died because of his hair. Remember? His gava came from his hair. And when he was stuck in the tree, he was going to take his sword to cut his hair. But listen to this. In that moment, when he wanted to cut his hair, Gehenom, he saw Gehenom under him. Gehenom opened under him, and he said to himself, "If I cut my hair, I'm gonna go fall straight into Gehenom." So therefore, he didn't want to cut his hair. Hashem wanted him to stay there and to die like that. So therefore, Hashem didn't allow him to cut his own hair with his sword. So the Gemara says, why did an elm tree? Why elm tree is the one that getting caught into? And the Mechilta says, because the elm tree doesn't have a heart. It's through and throughout. This is the same thing. There's no heart of the tree. So therefore, a pasuk says that Avshalom was in the heart of the elm. So what does that mean? So this elm tree was given miraculously a heart, the ability to understand, to punish Avshalom because he stole the heart of others. That's why the Jewish people, they're called, they're similar to the date palm tree. Because the date palm tree, there's the heart of palm, right? There's the heart of the tree. Just like the Jewish people have one heart, to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Amen. Says the Orchot Tzaddik.